Hello! Welcome to the Pinch of Mischief book club discussion. How are you all doing? Today we're going to talk about Witchlight by Dominique Villante. This is the sequel to Witch Spark by the same author. So if you haven't read the first book, there might be spoilers for it in this live discussion. However, we will not be spoiling Witchlight just yet. We will first talk about Witchlight spoiler free, and then we move on to spoilers, and you will be warned beforehand. So, however, I can see that there will be spoilers for the first book. This is a direct sequel. Everything that we're doing in this book is related to the previous book. So if you haven't read the first book, you might not want to watch this. I don't know what we're gonna come up with in chat, but I just wanted to warn you that might be the case. Hello, Judith. Dennis finished the book yet? Oh no! How far did you get? How much is left? Let me ask that. I finished it this morning. Absolutely loved it. I'm giving it 5 stars. I also gave Witch Spark 5 stars. And I think I might actually prefer this one. I'm not sure. So that is... yeah. I think I might enjoy this one even more, because the other one I absolutely love. But yeah, really good. I'm at page 100 at the moment, almost halfway. Oh, so much good stuff to come. Oh, so much to come. Oh, yeah. I think the second half of the book is the best part. I really like it so far. Not sure yet which one I like more. Yeah, and I honestly think you can only judge that after reading the whole book. I prefer the second half. Like in the first half, there is a lot of not knowing what's going on and just trusting Miss Haggerty. Whereas in the second half, we're gonna find out what's going to happen and then we can take action. So obviously that's the part I like the best. That's how it tends to happen. For me, at least. But it was so good to be back in this world, to be back with these characters mostly. I absolutely love the characters. It's so good. I really like the first sentence of this book, or I think it's the first paragraph. That is so descriptive. And I wish we've read this a bit sooner, maybe, because most of this is set on the days leading up to Halloween and Halloween. So that would have been nice to read it in October, maybe. It was so good. I enjoyed it so much. Yes, it's all barely beginning, but I feel stuff is going to happen soon. Yeah, I think so. Oh, you're before one of my favorite chapters you did. So that one, or is it 11? Yeah. Chapter 11 is my favorite chapter of this book, and I'm gonna warn you right now that when you start chapter 11, you need hot chocolate. It is necessary. It is very necessary, Judith. So, chapter 11 needs hot chocolate. Also, I love to see all these characters. Oh, the characters make this book for me. I love them all. Just finished this minute. Well done, Kay. Well done. So I know it's extremely fresh, but did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, I love it. It's also still perfect. Halloween gets really, really important. So it would have been fun to be this one, that this one was one of the books that I was reading for Halloween. That would have been fun. But I loved it anyway. Like, don't get me wrong. I love these characters so much. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Good thing I have chocolate milk at home. Yes, you need it. You will absolutely need it. Loved it. Lots of twists and turns. Yeah. And it's... I don't know. I really hope this series continues on that note. If you have read this book and you liked it, please review it on Amazon. Dominique asked for it on her Instagram because she didn't have any reviews on Amazon yet. And Starfell, her other series, is discontinued because she did not have enough reviews on Amazon. That's how her publisher decides if she is allowed to write more books or not. So if you enjoyed this book, if you could leave a review on Amazon, I specifically think it's the UK one that her publisher is watching, that would be, very helpful. She's literally not allowed to write her other, or to continue her other series because she did not have enough reviews. So I am going to leave a review on Amazon UK. I should be able to. I think I've done it before. 5 stars for me. So first of all, normally we talk about atmosphere first, and I think the funny thing is that I do love the atmosphere of this book. But why is that? Because description-wise, honestly, I could not tell you how the Spark Isle looks. I could not. The only thing I can see physically is a bit of the palace and Huis Wyvern. That's what I can see. That's obviously what we got the most descriptions of. And normally I'm a very description-loving girl. Like, I love it when a world is, the writer is being very descriptive about the world. And this book is not that at all. But I am in this book for the characters. But it is something about how the characters make me feel that I love the atmosphere in this book. It is cozy. It is heartwarming. I don't know. The things they say and the things they do to try to make things better really work for me. And I think that's why I do love the atmosphere in this book. Yeah. And then all the dragons. I love dragons. And the settings in this book were on fire too. Because obviously we have the magical house that we all loved in the first book. And there is a bookshop that is coming in chapter 11, Judith. That is a really nice setting too. And then you have something with the Big Bang and a castle. And I cannot picture where the whole government thing is. But yeah. Okay, then I get it. I will review them for sure after I finish it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it too. Like, I need 20 of these books, please. Thank you. That would be great if you could do that. I hope so. I love Huis Wyvern so much. Yeah, Hush. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Such a loving home. Truly. Yeah. You know, how privileged are you if you can live in a house like that? That would be the dream. Arthur, of course. Arthur was on fire again, this book. Absolutely loved him. I did chuckle out loud again because of some of the things Arthur said. So that was really, really, yeah. I enjoyed it immensely. I don't know. It is very cute, but also sassy at the same time. But he's not sassy at all. He's just very honest and very cutesy. He just want to be chill. But I don't know. Something... It's probably because he's a wyvern. And it doesn't fit his... obviously that is the whole point, right? That he's probably the most fearsome creature out there. And he's the least adventurous of them all. But that also makes it kind of feel sassy. I don't know how to describe it well. You're looking for... Yeah, that's my favorite. One of my favorite parts of the last book was the magical market. Yes. Yes, I've really enjoyed the magical market. There is one part, and I don't think it's a spoiler because it's literally on the cover. There is a part with brooms in this. And I love that part too. How they get the brooms and stuff, that is amazing. Hello, Larissa! Don't worry, it's all fine. We're still talking spoiler-free about the atmosphere and if people like the book or not. We have just started, so don't you worry about it. How you're feeling? How you're doing today? And also, did you like the book? Judith has not finished the book yet. She's currently working on chapter 9. So that is what I would like to say to you. Just, that is probably the most important thing you've missed. That there is somebody present here that has not read the full book. We obviously still don't do spoilers, but I'm very careful about saying what is happening later in the book, right? Like, I'm trying not talk too much about it. But I feel like the brooms is fair because it is literally on the cover and on the back. So I think saying that something happens with brooms and I loved it is okay. I feel like it's fine. It's on the cover. Oh, you didn't finish the book either. Got halfway. Chapter 23. All right. I am teasing Judith a bit because chapter 11 is my favorite. And she's just, she's in chapter 9. So she's almost there. Oh, yes, you're at Halloween. That's a very important chapter, Larissa. Alrighty, that's fine. I believe I'm getting spoiled. Yeah, yes, no. I will warn you. Don't you worry. I will warn you. Yeah, that's why we do this spoiler-free part. So you guys can still join if you want to. For the first half. But I think that is it. What I wanted to tell or say about the atmosphere. For me, it's all about the characters. So, but if you guys still want to say something about the atmosphere, please feel free to do so. Like, it's absolutely fine. I did just as the live stream started, but I haven't digested the book yet. Fair. That feels extremely fair. Unfortunately for you, I wasn't late today. That would have been helpful, wasn't it? I'm a bit tired today. I finished decorating for Christmas. So we put all the Christmas boxes, which there are a lot of them. We put them all back in the attic. So it is nicer now. But I walked up and down a ladder and stuff with boxes. So I am very tired today. I love the atmosphere and the writing in this one. I'm listening to the audio while reading the ebook and I really like it. Me too. I was saying, like, I really love the atmosphere, but I could not tell you, Larissa, why. Because normally I really like descriptive writing. But honestly, all I can picture in front of me is Huswyvern and a bit of the castle. I could not tell you how the IJsselspark Islands would look like. No clue at all. But still, I feel like the atmosphere really works for me. And I think it's delivered by what the characters do to make things better, as well as how they communicate between each other. But normally I would count that for the characters. So, but these books are just so cozy, and I do think that I loved the first one. It was 5 stars, and it absolutely deserved those 5 stars. But I think this one I prefer even more. Yeah, this was everything I needed in a book. I don't know, guys. I loved it so much. And then the ending. That I was a bit worried there. So that is good, right? I feel like usually middle grade you don't have to worry. And, you know, that might not be the case in this book, that you should have worried or not. But I was worried. I was worried. The one time, right? It would be helpful. Denise, read the room. Be late. You should have made yourself a hot chocolate first. But in my defense, as soon as Castle is mentioned, I'm sold. Yeah, fair, right? And also a magical house. Yes, count me in. Count me in. I'm here for it. I just love it so much. And I do really, really like the whole secret witch school / secret witch society. Obviously, that's also a thing that really ticked my boxes. So yeah, we got castles, we got dragons, we got magical houses, and a secret witch society / witch school. I'm having a blast. And then we have all these loving characters. I don't know. These might be, you know, if you put Charlie in this book, probably all my favorite characters are in there. Like, it's so good. It is so good. Arthur. Absolutely love Arthur. Arthur somehow always makes me giggle some part of the book. Usually multiple parts of the book. In this book, it was definitely multiple parts. It was so good. I just love him. But I love that he is probably the most fearsome creature out there. But then, you know, the least adventurous of them all. I love Eowyn. How do you say that properly? Is that a Scottish or an Irish name? I feel like I'm not pronouncing that correctly. But he is probably the bravest of them all. He is built for adventure. He wants too much adventure. And I love him for it. Then we have Victoria, who is so brave and so risking everything. Specifically in this book, is risking everything. And she's so brave. But, you know, it really shows her friendship. And then I think Nani and Latuli we've seen the least of. Nani has more character than Latuli for me, but still both of them are so barely seen. I would have loved to see them more in this book. I think we saw more of them and the characters in the first book than in this book. I also love magical houses and need to read more books with them. Yes, we do. We do. Yeah, right, but I wasn't sure which one, if it was Irish or Scottish anymore. And I was like, I don't want to say it wrong, but I think it's Irish, but I'm not sure. Maybe it might be Scottish. Let's do both. Yeah, it said like Owen. Really? That isn't hard. I am making this so hard. Owen, really? Oh. That does not sound as... Eowyn sounds really... It sounds kind of like sassy, right? It's... I think so. Owen isn't sassy at all. Owen is so Main Street. And he's not Main Street. I don't think it fits the character if you see it like that. And we get to see more... see them more in the next book then. Yes, I would love to. I'm also very curious how many books Dominique is willing to write in this. Like, I hope it's at least 20. But yeah, I could not get enough. And then Miss Hecate. And we see a bit more of Miss Hecate in this book, which I really enjoyed. Specifically, when we see her in the government, as well as in the ending. I love that. I really, I already loved her, but I think this book has shown her more, so I love it more. And then how is the new girl called? We're not gonna talk about very specific about this new girl because Judith is one chapter away from being introduced, or 2 chapters away from being introduced. So that might not be smart, but I just want to mention her character quickly. Myrtle. I don't think we see a whole lot of Myrtle, but I do like her. I do like her story. And I think she's very strong. What she had to go through is horrendous. And she took it such in a stride, and I don't know if I could have. Yeah. That's really something to deal with as a kid. I'm curious about a new one. Yeah. She's got Myrtle. You will meet her in chapter 11, which is required by hot chocolate. That is, yeah. I think that is when it starts. Chapter 11. If I'm honest. How I felt so bad for her. It was terrible to see that. And then Eglantine and Arthur trying to fix it but not being able to made it so much worse. And then Arthur got sick. And Tidbit got sick. That was also terrible. But also, can I just say, the bond between Victoria and Tidbit is amazing. And we talk a bit about it more in spoilers, but the bond between them is amazing and I love it. But yeah, it was terrible to see them all sick. I do think that the inconveniences that it caused were also kind of funny. And I think they dealt with it greatly, but it was so hard to see the house. So sick. Is that good? So you can go into spoilers? No, but it's gonna be soon. I don't think it's gonna take long. Specifically since you're just before everything starts, so I think Larissa can stay a bit longer than you because she's quite far in. So as long as we don't talk about the ending, she is probably gonna be fine. She is where I started this morning, so she's like 50 pages in. Having just had the flu myself, I felt like I was in the book too, but everybody getting sick. Housewife is massive sneezes. Yep, right there with you, buddy. Yeah. Right, so that is very... I get it. No, but it's... Yeah. At least you were not alone, Kate. At least you were not alone. If it was 8, I would have made it. Yeah, you know what the terrible thing is, Larissa? Kate finished it like 30 seconds or something before the live show, and she did not have digested this book. If I would have been late today, it would have been helpful for both you and Kate. But obviously, this is the day she decides to show up in time. I'm sorry. I should have been late, guys. I should have been late. Although I do think that then I would maybe fallen asleep and then we might have a new problem. And I don't put the fireplace on the ceiling when I sleep. Yeah, that is helpful. If you not do that, that is very helpful. I do think it. I think it was very creative how they gave symptoms to the house, and it was kind of funny. But it was absolutely horrendous to see his wyvern suffer like that. It was terrible. Fire, yeah, it was truly a fire hazard. I think I finished the first because the live show started too. Yeah, and then yesterday I was like, oh no, I really need to read this book because I don't want to stress read it again, and then I didn't read. So today, this morning, first thing I did was like, I need to finish my book because I do not want to be stress reading at 6. And I'm glad I did. It is helpful. I did enjoy it way more now. So what can I say about the plot without spoiling it? But also, what can we say about the plot that starts after chapter 9 that Judith is currently on without spoiling it? I think that is the hardest part. But I really like that it was quite late. It was so late in the book before we got to find out how deep the plot was and how far it reached and how bad it actually is. And I think it's really cool that we found that out so late. It was truly a mystery. We knew part of what was going on, and we had a good suspicions who did it. But the big, like, you only saw a pinch of the iceberg for most of the book, and then it came around. So I really enjoyed that. Plus, was a race against the clock, just like in the first one. Yes, it was definitely a race against the clock. Or do you feel rushed again? Because I do remember you feeling it rushed in the first book, right? I can see that because, the full plot started extremely late. So I can understand that. I really enjoyed it, actually. But I would also not have minded if it took another 100 pages. But it's just, I like being with these characters, so the longer it takes, the better I feel about it. But I don't think it was extremely necessary for it to take longer. If that makes sense. I think this is the part where Judith has to go. I don't think I can talk more about plot without talking. I have to talk about things that are past chapter 9. And I just don't really want to spoil anything for you. I think it's fine if Larissa stays. Chapter 23 is where Larissa's at, and that is at Halloween's Eve, which means that Larissa knows most of the book. Just not the final battle. So as long as we do not talk about the final battle, Larissa is safe to stay. But for Judith, it will not be. And because I just don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to tell you about little tiny bits that I just found funny. And I just want you to be able to experience those for yourself. I was beginning to wonder if there would actually be a conclusion or if it would go over to a book as it was so late in the book. Yeah, I was a bit worried. I will go now then and watch this back after. Bye, Judith. Thank you for being here. Bye, Judith. Alright, I will put spoilers on. These are spoilers up until chapter 23. we will not discuss the final battle just so Larissa is able to stay for a tiny bit longer. It is like 40 or 50 pages that we cannot discuss, so I think we should be fine. Is there going to be a third book? I am not sure. What I gather, or Dominique asked on Instagram if people could please, if they finish it, review this on Amazon. I assume the UK Amazon, because she didn't have any reviews yet. What happened last time is that she was ready to write another Starfell book, and she, had ideas for a whole book and felt she really wanted to. And then her publisher told her that she was not allowed to write more books because she did not have enough reviews on Amazon UK. So I think her asking about if people could please review it on Amazon is because she wants to write books, but publishers are gonna, see again if she's allowed by the reviews on Amazon. I assume they check the reviews on Amazon UK because it is a UK publishing house. It is Ashbourne. So I feel like she wants to. I don't know. Like, there is not a clear topic that needs to be discussed in book 3. It's just as with book 1, it is kind of closed off. But obviously she made another story out of it in that world. And I'm sure she can do it again. I can check. I haven't checked yet. So let me see. Can't find anything on Google. So I assume it's still unclear by this point. And that's why she's asking for reviews to get permission again. But it is wrapped up. So it doesn't have to be, but I would love to, if there is one. So yeah, after this I'm gonna do it. Like, she asked for reviews on the 4th Starfell book earlier, and then like a couple of weeks later I found out that she is not allowed to write more Starfell books because the reviews on book 4 weren't enough. There weren't enough of them for the publisher to say, yeah, let's continue this series. And she probably learned from that, so she's probably asking early right now. I assume, right? I haven't asked. So I hope that if we all leave reviews, that there is still something to be done about it. I think that is why she's asking. Because she would like to continue. I would like her to continue. I love this book so much. And then, that's what I wanted to say. But I didn't want to spoil because I thought it was such a cute moment that Victoria is in the kitchen with Titbit. She's obviously getting the nice biscuits because she's royalty, right? And then she says, "Thank you, Jane." And everybody, including Arthur, is in shock. because they have never known Miss Tisbit's first name. Because she doesn't tell, except to Victoria, they're on first name basis. And I think that's so cute. And then later on, it comes back when Eglantine actually tries it. And it's adorable. I love that. So, your royal enormousness, yes. This was one of the parts that I laughed out loud. They're so cute. I love Tidbit. A biscuit making goblin living in your kitchen cabinet. Yes, I have place. If any of Tidbit's extended family needs a place, you know, they can rent here. It's fine. They can pay in biscuits. I would love to host them. That was just, but I don't want, you know, I didn't want to tell because that was such a funny moment for me too. So I want people to be able to stumble upon that on their own. But that are the kind of things that really make this book for me. Tidbit trained to be extremely polite, but then is kind of on the, you know, is it really polite? Or is it actually not a compliment? And yeah, then Victoria knowing her name, that was amazing to me. So I think that is really cute. I need to check if the broom thing has happened yet. Or if that is actually happening in chapter 23. Yeah, no, that's happening in chapter 23. What we can talk about is the new girl, Myrtle, and what she has to go through. So, first of all, I really like how they meet in the bookshop with the dragons that actually subscribe you books. Yes. And I love that. Eglantine was a bit nervous, like being stared down by a dragon. And I was like, yeah, I feel you. I feel like that is fair. that is a true concern. And then you get a description of a book that they think you will need. And I absolutely love that part. The way the shop was described and with all the dragons, and it was absolutely my favorite part. And then they're all drinking hot chocolate. And I was like, now I need your hot chocolate too. I like how the kitchen gnome tried to comfort the principal. So uncomfortable. Yeah, it was such a cute moment. I think that was the cutest moment of the whole book. It was absolutely adorable. Yeah, I think that is... Yeah, it was really cute. Yeah, and I really liked the bookshop. I think that was so cozy. And the description of that was really nice to me. But then what... You know, the Myrtle had to... Myrtle go to her dad, you know, her dad's ghost every day. And then her actually needing to see the memory of how her dad died. Or she didn't have to. They all offered to do it for her, but she was determined to do it. And I'm so glad she did, because she obviously, you know, gotten the truth. And saved the truth. Recorded the truth. That was very helpful. But I really like how they did take care of her, and they were like, yeah, we're going now. We've got things. We're not gonna watch it. But how horrendous is it if you have to go through that as a kid? Like, that's terrible. Oh, that was so terrible. I really feel bad for that. And I do think because of stuff like this, the stakes in this book were higher than in the first book. The stakes felt higher in this book. Like Nandi getting caught with the spark detector test. and them having to rescue her. But then Miss Haggerty is there as a tea server, and it is absolutely fabulous. How she plays that role is hilarious to me. And then how Eglantine says, "Oh, you almost forget that she's probably the most powerful witch out there." Yeah, that was a good moment for me too. And I do feel like with the current state of the world, the whole girls are not allowed to have magic and we're doing everything to stop them, and every other minority group is not allowed to have magic and we're doing everything to stop them. It does really hit home in this current state of world. I do feel like this is a message we all desperately need. Because it is not that far away from things that we're trying, that people are trying to do right now. So, yeah, I felt like the stakes were definitely higher with this one than in the first book. And I felt so sorry for his wife, and that he was, he knew what was going on. And he tried to tell them. He even threw Eglantine in the past, even though, with a sneeze. It felt deliberate to her. So, yeah, he obviously did that on purpose. So he's trying to make the best out of his sickness. Trying to give hints, but is just not able to do so because of his sickness. I felt really bad about that for him. And then Arthur also getting sick was terrible. What else happens between chapter 9 and 23? Like, a lot. Almost everything happens there, I feel like. Everybody else getting sick. Yeah. I was like, am I going to say this out loud? Probably not. Probably just do the autocorrect because you know what you meant. Yeah, everybody was getting sick. And that, that didn't help, obviously. And I think that's why they maybe didn't see the clues from His Wyvern yet. Or not as clearly as they should have. I don't know. I felt bad for them. That is for sure. But I don't know. Do you guys think the stakes were higher in this book, or did I imagine that? So there is a picture, right, of the bookshop. Because some of you have read the ebook. Are there pictures in the ebook too? Yeah, here. I really love the bookshop. How it turned out. I'm making dinner in the meantime. Lesson learned. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I got it. I got the idea what you wanted to tell me. It was funny though. It was a funny sentence. Let me check. Oh, you have seen the lamp thing, right, Larissa? Yeah, that was chapter 22. You were in chapter 23. I do think it was very funny that Li Shen was taken in the lamp. And that they had to fulfill wishes, but they still were scared of him. I think that is saying something. But I think that is really funny because he obviously tried to enslave everybody to his will. So I found it very fitting that he was then enslaved to do everybody's bidding. High stakes for everyone in this book, whereas book 1 was more about Eglantine. That is true. The stakes for Eglantine were really high in the first book too. That is absolutely true. Yeah, but now it was for everyone. And then, Miss Haggerty needing to, knowing full well Owen was in danger. And Arthur, and that they were going to be in danger, but she needed to let it happen because otherwise they would not win the fight. And everybody being angry about that, and absolutely fair. I was angry about it too, but I also felt bad for Miss Haggerty. So I really enjoyed that scene. And I do think both of those sides were really well described. And I really liked how Eglantine was like, yeah, I can see that she did not want to do that, but she had to, or she felt she had to. So yeah, I'm gonna try and let it go. And then Haas making the portal for Victoria so that she could enter through her dollhouse. Absolutely hilarious to me. That was fabulous. So yeah. And then can't I say that? I think that is what I can talk about before chapter 23. All I want to talk about now is the ending, basically. I think that is Okay, then I go, I'm sorry, Larissa. I don't want you to go, but I don't want to spoil anything for you either. Have a good night. See you later. Bye. Alright, so if you're watching this back, this is going to be spoilers for everything. We will be discussing the end. So if you haven't finished all the pages yet, sorry, you have to go again. I'm so sorry. But I really like the ending. I like that it was set on Halloween. It would have been a good book to read on Halloween for that reason. And then everybody was shocked because Arthur wasn't looking good. He's almost, barely alive anymore. And then they found out that Eglantine was also sick because she has been hiding it. And then, her arm turned to stone. So then they saw it. And then they had to go. And Miss Haggerty came with all those twigs out. And everybody got to pick their broom. And they all turned in something so personal. And I love the brooms. I love the description of the brooms. I love that Myrtle's had a little shell for her manuscript. That they all had something that they needed. Victoria's was almost invisible. Nanny's of Lutiel's was so green that she could easily hide it in her greenhouse. All kind of stuff. And I loved it. I think that was kind of my magic market moment from the first book. Like we saw some new magical goodies fully described. I really enjoyed that. the brooms are definitely my favorite, magical item, but just of the magic in general. I think that was so, I don't know, I really liked that moment. It was very descriptive. I loved it. But then when they were flying, Victoria was in danger. And Eglantine had to make a choice, but because her survivor made them portals for them all, she could go back to hers. And then when she got back, obviously, he immediately threw her, like, the gate to Victoria's. And I loved that her, how is that called? Lady in waiting? Like, the one that takes care of her, is sitting there because she told her that somebody might come out of her dollhouse to help. How ridiculous must that have been sounding? And you still decide to, alright, I'm gonna trust you. I'm doing it. I'm just gonna wait there and hope somebody comes through the dollhouse. So I love that they had the bond that, she trusted her enough to actually listen to stuff like that. But I was really worried when Victoria was thrown in prison. Especially when they also got Eglantine. Obviously, when the guards had her. So, that was a worrisome moment for me. That's when I wasn't sure how it would go and if the book would end well at all, or if we would get it in a different book. But I really think there where the stakes were high because she almost lost her life and her throne. And it was basically a stare down. And I really enjoyed it. I loved that when they were about to lose, that Miss Haggerty came in and revealed that the king was in fact not that, as they had tried to murder him. And that he was just there. I think it's so clever. It's so cleverly done. But I really enjoyed that. And then obviously Eglantine being able to use her magic because she's connected to her wyvern, so it isn't fully human magic. I saw that coming, but it was still nice to have. And to have that special bond means something special too. So I've really, really enjoyed that part too. Let me see if there's something I missed. Yeah, no, then they do this. Oh, it was really heartbreaking to see Owen with Eglantine when she is stoned. That was very heartbreaking. Like, she really went all the way, didn't she? Like, children saw their parents die. Children were imprisoned and might lose their life. Children were almost killed and other children had to witness it. Yeah, me too. And I love that Eglantine purposely phrased that wish like that. And then when the lady from the government came, because they were in their debts, and Owen got to hear that everything was given to him by his uncle, he quite quickly figured out that Eglantine had something to do with it. Emma did thank you, and I really enjoyed that bit too. That he figured it out soon enough. It really said something about their bond. I love that he got everything too. He really deserves it. And Miss Haggerty getting her own school, she was so happy with that, so that was lovely. And Victoria obviously being able to stay queen was really well done. So yeah, I just really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed how thick the plot actually was, how deep it went. Even though the first half of the book was only worrying about Huss being sick. There was so much more to it than that. And there was so much more depth in it, which I really enjoyed. But it is all cleared up. So there doesn't have to be, it's good enough. But you could write a third book, maybe about a new witch school, which I personally would not mind at all. I think if there is going to be a third book, it is going to be about the witch school. So I just really enjoyed this book. It was so good to be back. I also would not mind a novella set somewhere in the future where Victoria is queen. I would like that too. But then I also would not mind a novella set in the past where we see all these creatures like wyverns and dragons and magical houses come to life. I would also like to read about that part. So I think there's so much potential here, but yeah, it's all depending on if the publisher is going to let her write it. I feel like that was what happened with Starfall too, so. Why can't I get to Amazon UK? It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, I think that was everything for me today. I think that is everything I wanted to talk about. I do have a feeling I forget something, but I also don't think I'm going to come up with it again. Or about Arthur as his own. Yeah, right? I would love to know about Arthur's past. That is stuff that is very interesting to me. Specifically deep diving in characters because I love them all. So yeah, I would not mind at all. But that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I am very glad we read this book together again. Next month we will be reading Stepfather, or that's not true. We're reading the second book. Let me get the title. It is on its way to me, or it should be. We will be reading The Biggest Christmas Secret Ever by Aldi Lipinski. That is the book we will be reading. That's it. That is the book we will be reading in December. It is a chapter advent, so we will be reading a chapter every day. I will make a channel for that on the Discord so we can discuss it. But that's it for today. Thank you for hosting. No problem, Kate. Thank you for being here. I hope you all enjoyed it too, and I will see you in the next one.